Hey, what's happening, guys? Hope you guys had an amazing Wednesday. I am absolutely exhausted, but I did have an amazing day, and I wanted to share with you guys on the third in a row consistent vlog that I've been creating. I made a commitment to myself to do this daily. I said I wasn't going to try, I said I was going to do, so that's exactly what I'm doing. What I wanted to talk about today is trusting intuition over fear, and knowing that when your intuition leads you to something, you're doing the right thing, and how fear truly separates us from not only internally but everyone else around us. Um, I said yesterday in my vlog that it was an amazing day for all of my clients. And I had three clients that had a lot of success, and there were some huge moments. And I wanted to touch on really quick one of them because although I was very excited to see this client storefront up and running. The real gift was really when she first came to us. Her and her husband came to us. They literally didn't know what they were going to do. They like filed this LLC, like they had all this stuff, like but they had all these things that they wanted to do, and it was like all over the place. I'm just like, okay, guys, make a decision. Like you guys have put all this money into it. It's not like, I think now is the time to make that decision. And so there was a lot of heavy lifting in the beginning, and there was a lot of questions on there, and they were consistently asking for help and always calling in. And there was times where, of course, during the day-to-day job, I managed a lot more accounts, in addition to that. So to me, it felt, somewhat annoying at times, and difficult is the right word. And so what I failed to see is that the more and more we helped, I helped them, the less and less the phone calls started to be, and the more confidence that they had in themselves. So coming in like 4 months later is how long they've been in this program, or in our program, just to see the level of confidence from when they first started to now. Now they know what they're doing. They have all this work that needs to be done. They have a clear path. They feel like they're accomplished. They're making sales. They're doing this, and it's just such a cool, it gives me goosebumps even right now. It's just a cool thing to see that, and just to see the transformation in attitude over a 4-month period is truly miraculous. In the moment, it doesn't really seem like it, but after that, when you take a look back and you look at everything that's happened, it's truly incredible. Same thing that happened for me when I got sober. It was like the radical shift in thinking, or like the sudden shift in thinking, the complete opposite in thinking literally happened in a 4-month period. I was at a place was supposed to be 90 days, but they gave me an extra month, and I was completely okay with it. Actually, the 4th month, I was the most on fire. Y'all, I'm not a morning person, but I was literally up at 4:45 in the morning, drinking probably 18 cups of coffee and smoking a pack of cigarettes before the sun came up. And we had a meeting that was called How Free Do You Want to Be? And that was like the coolest thing ever, to like be in the hill country, watching the sunrise, and just be free and okay with literally no phone, no entertainment, no job, no bills, no nothing, and being completely okay with myself. And so, but that was not the man I walked in. That was not the man I was when I walked in. When I walked in, I was scared shitless. I was 140 pounds, and I had my tail tucked between my legs. And the only thing I knew was that I just needed to get well. Change happens so fast, but yet in the moment we think it's forever. If I would have gone back and told the person who walked into treatment center for the first time that you were going to be okay and you were going to be happy in 4 months, I told you were fucking insane. So it's just, that's one thing that I really wanted to touch on from yesterday, and which segues into the next piece around trusting my intuition and trusting your intuition, and knowing that what you're doing is the right thing. And guess what? If it's not, you're always going to learn, and it's always going to present itself. What I mean by that is that I'll give you an example. With my experience, this job that I have is very much like a startup within the company that we're doing. It's very ad hoc, lean startup method. Like if we want to do something, it actually gets considered, and it's scrappy, and it moves quick, and things change, and there's not real, and every account manager does services their clients in a different way. There's not one real way to service a client, and we all have a baseline initial phone call, but how we service the accounts is completely up to us. So I'm sitting here with a complete lack of confidence and a huge fear of what other people think of me, and if I'm able to actually do this, that I would focus all of what I was doing. I was basically watching other people, which isn't a bad thing, by the way. And we'll circle back to that, which isn't a bad thing, but I was literally basing my job off of what they were doing. And guess what? What I was doing the entire time was working. I would judge myself and not think I was good enough because what they were doing was completely different, and they were doing things a certain way, and they were having more huddles than I was, and this is how they did their clients. They were very structured, and I just didn't, I always felt less than, and I always felt that I was playing catch up, because a lot of what I do with my clients is that, we identify what needs to be done and we take steps to get there, but I always allow this. It's a growing process. I'm not here to run your business. I'm here to help you, get the tools you need so you can run your business. And I make a joke sometimes where it's like, give me 5% ownership if you want me to run it. I got plenty of things to do. And so I kept thinking that what I was doing was the wrong thing. My intuition kept telling me to do what I was doing. Not only would I talk to these people, give them strategy, but I would get to know them on a personal level, know their story, figure out what drives them. Okay. And then present a solution based on who that person is and what we spoke about last and where they are. And sometimes small things like that, and also celebrating small victories and providing solutions to every problem that they have, that goes a long way. Sometimes I think that like me researching something that takes 30 seconds is not good enough, but you know what? That may not be 30 seconds that they have, and that's why they're paying us, is because we can do things like that for them. And I can't tell you the overwhelming feeling I had from those moments, knowing that what I was doing and what I'm currently doing is the right way for me, right? And it's a very interesting thing because, like I said, I do things very differently. But guess what? My clients are seeing a lot of success. They're seeing a lot of happiness. They're making big boy and big girl moves. And it's a really cool thing to see. And I couldn't help but take a look back. I'm like, you were fucking right the entire time. Sure, you made mistakes. Sure, I made mistakes, and sure, I could have done things better. But overall, my approach, works for me. My clients are happy. They're wanting to renew their services. They're like killing it in their business, And so the whole point is that, like, don't compare yourself to other people, especially in a job function, right? It's what works for you may not work for them. Same thing goes with getting advice from people. Just because you get advice from someone you look up to doesn't mean you have to do exactly what they say. That's another thing that messed me up a lot too, is I would ask the same questions to a lot of different people that I looked up, and I would get a different answer every single time. What I was unwilling to do is see what points matched up with my beliefs and take what I can out of those and make my own decision. I would always just instead get paralyzed by fear, because what I was doing wasn't what this person said, therefore it's going to be wrong. So trust your gut, even if no one else is doing that. If it feels right and good things are happening, keep doing it, right? Even if it's weird. Guys, none of us, including myself, none of us know what's going to happen in the future. We have history that tells us what human behavior does, but no one, even literally right after this moment when I stop recording, knows what's going to happen. So we have this internal light that's guiding us. We have this internal piece that's guiding us, and then we have this that's telling us that we're not good enough. It's not going to work. What are other people going to think about me? I should do this. And stop. It's there for a reason, and I can't tell you how amazing that felt to know that, guess what? My intuition yet again was right. It's what's got me to this point, and it's what's going to continue to get me through life, and it's what's continued to give me the most badass, amazing life I couldn't have even ever fathomed before I got well. I'll end it with this. We actually wrote a letter to ourselves 2 years later in the future when I was in rehab, and what it was going to be like, and writing to your future self. And so I actually received the letter. Well, this is now 4 years ago, and guys, every single thing in that video, not only did that come true, but that all came true literally within like the first 8 months of me getting out. But there was so much more that I had no idea that was going to happen that happened. I had so many more things, and I had such like the internal growth was a lot bigger than I ever thought it could be. And I also was in a lot different place than I thought I would be. And guys, even from then to the next 4 years, guys, I'm getting to like follow my passion and play video games on Twitch. And I mean, and I work for a company that literally is providing me resources and opportunities to enhance that and grow it. Guys, I can't make this shit up. I literally can't. Literally what I do is what I believe to be the next right thing. I mentioned in a tweet the other day is that if you're wondering how people stay so happy, if you're wondering why some of the biggest people in the world stay happy, is because they're doing things outside of social media, outside of their job, that they're not talking about. That's where the real magic happens. Is when you put other people before you. That's really where the true magic happens, and you don't tell anyone about it. You don't brag about it. And man, that shit just makes you so free on the inside. It allows us to be genuine. It allows us to be happy. It allows us to do everything we want to do, because guess what? It unlocks the mental energy, this mental energy that allows us to create, that allows us to be of service, that allows us to make people laugh, that allows us to make a difference in people's lives. It's fucking amazing, guys. Go get you some.